All right, everybody, welcome into the LFC Transfer Room. It's myself, Jack, Jay, and Owen, here for a bit of a pre-match ahead of the match between Liverpool and Leicester in the Premier League. Jay, I'll start with you. How are you doing on this lovely Tuesday evening?
Very good, mate. A little bit fat over the festive period, as you'd imagine. But apart from that, mate, yeah, good. Looking forward to the match.
Owen, yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing good, mate. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I think this is I've been excited for this match, because obviously the Leeds match getting postponed meant that we've had to wait a little bit for Liverpool to get back in action. But they're here. It's a very interesting lineup. We'll break it down, I guess, right here. Some of the big talking points, obviously, in the midfield. Fabinho, Henderson, and Oxlade-Chamberlain. No Thiago out due to injury. And Fabinho with the potential yellow card. If he gets one more yellow card, he misses the Chelsea match due to suspension. Owen, I guess I'll lead to you first. I kind of led with the midfield first, but do you have any kind of takeaways from this lineup ahead of this one against Leicester?
Not really, because I think with that team, we'll comfortably beat Leicester. I'll say it now. You can clip it all you want, but I think with that team, it's definitely strong enough to beat Leicester, especially with the team they've put out. However, I think if you put that team against Man City or Chelsea, I think we would struggle, especially with Oxlade-Chamberlain. I'm not his biggest fan at all. I know if Kris was here, you'd be absolutely loving him, but I'm just not persuaded by him at all from what I've seen. He's just not, I don't know, I just don't rate him personally. I think he's too sloppy on the ball, and personally, I just don't think he's a Liverpool player. But obviously Klopp likes him, or kind of gets on with him to some extent, so I think we'll just have to take it and see how it goes.
Jay, Oxlade-Chamberlain kind of divides opinion. I'm interested where you fall on the assessment of Alex.
Yeah, I'm with Owen, mate. I was on it a few weeks ago. For me, he lacks a footballing brain. Sometimes he just makes the wrong choices so many times. He'll dribble when there's a man free, takes on shots that are stupid. Don't get me wrong, I think the last couple of games he's played, he's looked better, but he'd still never ever be in my first 11 if the rest of the lads are fit. So I'm with Owen, to be honest. I don't think he's really good enough to play central midfield week in, week out for us.
And Damon is joining us now. Damon, if you can hear me all right. First off, how you doing today? And I guess your early takeaways from the lineup.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I can hear you, Damon.
All right, it's a good lineup for what I think. Very good, yeah.
You're a bit laggy on my end, at least. But
yeah, it's quite a strong lineup. Hear me, yeah. Are we good?
Yeah, keep going. My bad. I'm in and out.
No, same. He is for me as well.
Okay. Yeah. Here, Damon, your thoughts on the lineup. Sorry, I think you're a bit behind on us.
Sorry. I think it's a strong lineup, to be honest. I thought they might play a few fringe players, but they haven't done so.
Yeah, and so I guess
I think it's about taking which game is which game is the most important, like today or Chelsea. But I think getting 3 points today is just as important as the Chelsea one. So it's no good dropping points today and then going to Chelsea.
Is indeed, and Fabinho obviously is a big talking point because he's one yellow card away from the suspension. Jay, I think you mentioned it off camera. I'm interested in your thoughts on the decision to obviously put him in this lineup.
Yeah, it's a bit like what Damon just said. Obviously, yeah, we need the 3 points at Chelsea, but if we don't get the 3 points today, then it doesn't really matter. So I would have went with him. But like you said off camera as well, Jack, I think if we're comfortable and now we're in, then yeah, I'd definitely pull him out.
And in terms of no Robertson due to the suspension, is that a 2-match or a 1-match? I forget what the suspension is after the red against Spurs. I believe it's 2, maybe 3. Someone knows, correct me. But Tsimikas obviously gets the role at left back. Owen, I guess, do you prefer Tsimikas as a starter in a way? And how do you kind of expect that position to fare in today's match?
Yeah, I have no doubts of Tsimikas at all. I think Robertson has a 3-match ban because he missed the League Cup game tonight and then the Chelsea game. So 3 game. But yeah, Tsimikas, I don't think there's any real downgrade there, if I'm being perfectly honest. I think defensively wise, I think Robertson may be a tiny bit more stronger, but going forward, I think Tsimikas is a bit there, if I'm being honest. So and no doubts really with Tsimikas. I'm very excited to see what he's got to offer. We haven't seen him for quite a while, to be fair. After kind of start of the season, we thought we're going to see a heavy rotation between Tsimikas and Robertson in the big games, but we haven't really. Klopp's kind of gone with what he's known, gone with Robertson in those big games. So this is quite a big game, and Tsimikas has that opportunity tonight.
Yeah, and I think up front is an interesting one. So Jota obviously gets to start alongside Salah and Mane. Firmino, is he in anybody's? Damon, I'll go to you on this one. Is he in anybody's starting eyes, I guess, or is it just Jota's the clear away number 9 for Liverpool? Damon, I'll go to you.
It's harder for me now because he's such a good player, isn't he? But Jota's just the form player, isn't he? He just does the business on up front and goals, so you can't really drop him when he's scoring goals every week. You can't drop him. As much as Firmino brings so much to the table, Jota brings goals, and that's what you need to win games.
And Jay, you shook your head. Firmino not a starter for you?
There's no way you can drop Jota, mate. He's the second top scorer in the Premier League. He changes games. There's no way you can drop Jota on his form. You'd be mad to.
I agree with that. Yeah, it's actually quite remarkable the amount of goals that he has scored. So maybe is Mane, I guess, in your eyes, Jay, could Firmino get in the lineup for Mane, or is it just this front three is just a lock?
I think if you were going to drop any of the front three, yeah, it'd be Mane. Mane's having a better season than last season, but I still don't think he's anywhere near the level he was at when us and City were going for the title and when we won it, and the Champions League season when he scored that goal against Bayern. I think he's miles off that. I'm not saying he's doing bad, but he's still not that player, which, don't get me wrong, we're talking he was one of the best players in the world then. So I think if Firmino was going to drop any of the front three, it'd have to be Mane for me personally, which will probably mean Jota going on the left rather than the false 9.
And so let's talk about Leicester's lineup a little bit. Dan saying you're a pretty bad lineup. We were kind of assessing it ahead of things. Owen, the no Tielemans in the midfield, who's a player who's linked with Liverpool pretty heavily. I'm interested in as well as I think Ndidi in the back line, if I'm reading this lineup correctly. I'm interested in your takeaways from the lineup, Owen.
Yeah, from what we've seen, we can't really see an out-and-out recognised centre back, because I think Marty is kind of more of a defensive midfielder, and so is Ndidi. So it's more kind of a very attacking approach there, but hopefully we can kind of dominate them in midfield and defence with Dewsbury Hall, Sumer, Chowdhury. It's definitely rotated. We know that the other day on Boxing Day, Man City played them and they kind of thrashed them in the opening half, but then after that they came back into it. So they're going to have kind of tired legs from those games and the players who have played. But I think it's an all right team overall. I don't think it's the worst team, but at the same time, it's definitely not their strongest team either. Probably played a stronger team in the League Cup the other day, if we're being perfectly honest.
That's a good point you make there, Owen, in the League Cup. And Damon, I'll go to you with this one. After that match, I'm interested in how the teams take away from that one, because Liverpool with a heavily rotated lineup against a much stronger Leicester side come away on penalties with the victory. How much of a hangover do you think there's going to be there, and how comparing the two matches, how will these two matches, I guess, compare when this one's said and done?
I think Liverpool go out to get the business done today, don't they? So this Premier League, different team for Liverpool, stronger team. They want to get out there and put 4 or 5 past them if they want to. I think mentally they've got the edge over them already after last week, because Leicester had the strongest team out last week, and they're going to think if we can't beat them with the strongest team, then what we're going to do tonight. So I'm expecting an easy win, to be honest, tonight.
And Owen, I think the fans want to know what's for dinner for you. I'm not sure if there's some sort of inside joke here, or if there's just intrigue from Omer about what's on the dinner slate for you.
I think it's just a random question, if I'm being honest. I don't think I've mentioned anything like that. So what's for dinner? It's actually pasta. It's actually in the oven now. Wow, being made. So I'm getting very hungry at the minute, but
that's very exciting. I know you mentioned it in the WhatsApp, but I wasn't sure if there was some sort of context for that.
I don't think so.
Getting back to the match, I saw some people on Twitter talking about Vardy against Matip and Matip's ability to kind of assess that. Jay, I'll go with you with this one. Jamie Vardy, I mean, he's what, 33, 34 at this point, but he's still kicking it, obviously. Does he pose the biggest threat in your eyes? Or if not, where is the biggest threat for Leicester lie?
Yeah, Vardy always likes a goal against us anyway, to be honest. But I wouldn't say Matip's a weak link going up against him. He's arguably been our best defender this season anyway. And everyone knows Van Dijk, Matip's been unreal this season. But I actually think it's Maddison who's their biggest threat, because it's him who plays the passes for Vardy, making them runs. So I think Maddison's their biggest threat, to be honest, out of the two. But Vardy's probably the more likely to get the goal if they were to score.
In terms of overall confidence level, I think maybe it was you, Owen, who said you were very, very confident. So Damon, I'll go to you. Seeing these lineups now, where's the confidence level for you in getting a result?
Easy. I think it's done. I think the 3 points are already over the bag, just for mentally, just to learn on the mental side. No, I know you're thinking that's a bit confident, but no, I'm getting to the point now where Liverpool are getting to the stage of they're just blitzing teams now. It feels like it was 2 years ago, when I just sat back and just enjoyed the football, and that's how I'm feeling again. So I'm expecting an easy win, to be honest.
And Jay, you've kind of alluded to a little bit your confidence out of this one.
I never go into a game cocky, mate, even if it's against Norwich, because I've been watching football too long to be thinking we're going to run anyone over. And Leicester are a good side. That's not their strongest 11, but they are at home, and they have got good players. Vardy's always a danger, and so's Maddison. Deep down, I always think, yeah, we're going to win, but I'm not one of them fans who can just come out and be like, yeah, we're going to win 4-0, 5-0. I'm not one of them. Deep down, yeah, I think we'll do it, but I'd never be one of them to go out and put myself on a whim to say we're going to win by 3, 4, 5.
I think we are required to talk about Curtis Jones. We have one of his biggest fans in the chat here today. I want to go to you first. So he's back. When was his last appearance? It's been quite a while. And I'm interested in should he appear today, at least for you, Owen?
Yeah, if he's up to it, then 100%. I really don't know what happened with his eye. Kind of nobody knows what happened there, because it's absolutely kind of a mystery, kind of sort of injury. You don't see it very often at all. He's been very unlucky. Obviously, just got COVID as well. So yeah, I definitely want to see more of Curtis Jones. I think he was actually getting into the rhythm of it right before he picked up that eye injury. So I think he's been very unfortunate lately. And if he's down to playing fully match fit, then I want to see him on tonight 100%.
Yeah, and Damon, more generally, I think off the bench, you got Keita, Jones, Firmino, Gomez, Kanate. Who are you looking to try and get some minutes in this one? And where do you
definitely Naby, especially when he's going to AFCON in a couple of weeks. I mean, I'm surprised he's not starting, to be honest, because you've got to make most of him whilst he's there. I know we're losing Salah and Mane, but I think Naby's going to be a big miss, if I'm honest, and he does leave.
This is interesting. So it's to do with his retina. I'm no doctor, but our resident Curtis Jones fanboy was able to give us a bit of insight into what potentially was the issue with Curtis Jones in that one. So yeah, it's very interesting midfield. I'm one of Naby Keita's biggest supporters. I like Oxlade, but I would have loved to see Keita in this one for sure. Let's get some predictions. I think we've all kind of alluded to the fact that we expect it to be a win. But Jay, I'll go to you first on this one. What we saw 3-3 last time out in the League Cup. Leicester just lost 6-3 to Man City. Where do you kind of see this one falling?
I can see Leicester getting one, to be honest. So I'll probably say a 3-1 Liverpool.
Who are the goal scorers for you?
I always fancy José to get a goal these days, to be honest. I'll definitely throw José in there. I'd say between José and Salah, one of them will get 2 and the other one will get 1. Couldn't say who, because they're both on fire, aren't they?
Makes sense. And then Owen, score prediction for you.
I was there when we beat them 4-0 just over 2 years ago now. So I'm going to go 4-0 again tonight. I think Salah's going to score a hat-trick and Matip's going to get 1.
That's an interesting prediction there.
Yeah. Who did you say for the hat-trick there, mister?
Salah.
Oh, Salah, yeah.
Who else?
Damon, your prediction for it?
3-0. I think it's going to be an easy game, if I'm honest. I think they'll get a good 2-0 lead in first half and then just salter on in second half. I think all three he'll score, if I'm honest. All front three.
That'd be a good
Mane,
performance.
Salah and Jota.
That would be a great performance. I'm a bit more pessimistic than you guys. I'm going to go a win, 4-2. I think that's going to be a lot of goals in this one. I think Vardy gets 2. I think he scored 2, obviously, in the League Cup. He just enjoys a goal. I think, Jay, you mentioned it. I'm not with Matty on the 13-1 train. I would have scored 13. But I think Mane will actually have a good performance today. I think Mane will score 2. And then I'm also with Damon on the front 3, all getting involved with a goal apiece. So yeah, I think we're all pretty confident ahead of this one, but as the sport always can be, it can always be a bit of a surprise. Well, that'll do it, I think, unless there's any last thoughts from any of you guys ahead of this one. But that is going to do it for today's pre-match stream. We'll have a live watch line with Louis. We'll be back after the match to review it as well. So make sure you subscribe to the LFC Transfer and follow all of us with our tags down here, and we'll catch you in the next stream of LFC Transfer.